Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host, Scotty McCoy, and boy, do I have double the surprise for you this time. I have a returning guest, Steven Erkintalo, and I have Heather Mumma. Is that how you pronounce it?
Mumma.
Mumma, and they are the stars of the upcoming film Conjuring Yorktown. How you doing, guys? Conjuring Yorktown. Telling you, it's a long day today. So how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Very tired. Long day. Been going since 4:30 this morning. So then I haven't stopped since. But so the first question I do have for you guys is, how did you get involved into acting, and how did you both end up getting involved with each other?
I mean, I've been acting since straight out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to film school in Orlando, and I've just kind of been picking up auditions and gigs and everything since then.
Okay.
More so recently than, before.
Yeah. What about you, Steven?
I never really wanted to do acting. Like, I didn't really care for it. But I did the haunted tours. I did the paranormal show for that. And then once that aired, it kind of just took off. I did the runway modeling, magazine covers. And then people wanted me to do some of their short videos. I did one of those, and I just wasn't too impressed with how that was done. So I kind of just, acting is just not my thing, but I'll do it as long as I'm more involved rather than, I guess, if I'm more of a producer, director, writer aspect of it, I'd rather be that part of it than just being told what to do, especially in the indie community. It's a little different more in the indie community than it is in a professional aspect. So, but yeah, that's it.
And then how did you both? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna like. We were gonna work on a film together. What was it? RH2. What was it even called?
Reunion from Hell 2.
Reunion from Hell 2. Yeah, weren't you gonna? Was it you had something?
I was involved as well. Yes, I had to drop because of COVID. I got COVID, so kind of sucks.
Yeah, so we were gonna do that together, and I dropped because I don't like Hayden or the whole. I didn't like anybody in the cast or crew, to be honest. So, and that's why I just dropped it because of that. I didn't trust the process. I didn't trust who was involved. I didn't trust Hayden.
Right.
And it just turned into a mess when we were all in the group chat, and I just don't need to be a part of that. Like I said, I do more than just needing that environment. So I don't need to be in it if I don't want to be in it. So I left it.
Right. Makes sense. So where did you get the idea of Conjuring Yorktown? Like, where did it come from, and what is this film all about?
Conjuring.
I can't pronounce it. Oh my God.
We were actually putting a film together, an urban legend film, and then it just kind of like fizzled and didn't work because of the people involved, not me or him, but the other people involved. So we decided to take that money and put it into a paranormal documentary.
Okay, nice. And so what can we expect from this film? I know I'll get the name right by Friday when I have his back.
On my end, just very unorthodox kind of style techniques, very controversial techniques that I believe work more than just asking for a flashlight to go off or a knock or can the temperature drop from 80 degrees to 77 degrees, so, I mean, some of the things that we'll do are like in the chapel. There's a chapel area because the building was built by nuns, Catholic nuns.
Nice.
And they supposedly hate people with tattoos and preferably men. So we got her a Catholic nun outfit. She's going to dress up as that. Nice. I'm going to get naked and lay on top of one of like the altar areas and use the Ouija board on my chest as she's over me. Now, what I want to do is hang something from the ceiling. I don't believe in pendulums, which a pendulum most people just hold in their hand and wait for it to move. And it's going to move because when your hand's up like this, you get shaky no matter what. No matter what, you're always shaky. So of course it's going to move.
Right.
I want to hang the planchette from the ceiling over my chest so no one's touching it. And if we can get that thing to really move in circles, I feel like, I mean, that's never been done. And to bear all would be giving all my soul. Like that's everything I have. This is my pure body. This is it. It's how you come into the world. It's how you leave the world. So that's just one of the techniques, outside of bleeding on the Ouija board, outside of doing some experiments with medicine, because it was a rehabilitation clinic after the hospital closed down.
Okay.
So things like that. Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting. So what do you kind of expect to happen? Because I know this interview is before filming starts, and I have you back on Friday, and we're going to be kind of talking about what happened when you filmed and how and what to expect. So what do you expect is going to happen when you start filming that maybe we can, discuss then come on Friday?
What do you think will happen? I think it'll be cool if we say what we expect to happen and it happens, and then we can show that it actually did happen. What do you think?
I mean, so we're gonna sleep in 2 separate rooms.
Okay.
And we're gonna film because we're gonna sleep there. So we're gonna film each room. When we think about it, I think it would be cool if something happens while one of us is asleep, and we catch it on film.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know in particular what would happen. This is actually my first time doing anything paranormal. So he would have a better idea of what could happen, but I'm excited because you'll see the reactions from someone who's never experienced it before.
Nice. So I know I had Steven on before and we talked a lot about energy. So now when you're doing this film, are we going to expect to see ghosts per se, spirits, or is it all energy based?
I mean, it all boils down to energy. I mean, that's all spirits are. That's all energy is. That's all we're giving off right now is our own energy, just consciousness. And, when we die, I believe that's what we talked about. When we die, our vessel goes. I think we got pretty deep on the last one.
We did.
And I expect the same thing. Honestly, with this one, though, I've been wanting to do this one for about 8 years now. Okay. And I know that I was on my Facebook scrolling down the memories 2 days ago, and I saw me post about this building 8 years ago. I was excited about going. And so it's been a dream location. I really think that a shadow figure will get caught on camera, like with one of the IR cameras with this one. I just feel like it will. I don't know why. Maybe because it is darker and it's more right up my alley with things.
Okay.
And the energy that I'm going to give it based off me not really being in the field for like 2 years.
Okay.
And so forth. So yeah, I feel like more energy is going to get captured than anything. Voices on the digital voice recorders, but my main objective is I want something visual on the infrared cameras. I feel like that's going to be a little bit more is proofable a word?
Yeah, it is now.
So a little more proofable for me than.
Even just coined that phrase.
It's funny you mentioned that because in the last episode you mentioned another word that wasn't a word.
Yeah, I can't remember what that was, but yeah.
We'll come up with a third one for Friday. We'll make it a 3-peat. So we know, Steven, you've done paranormal before. Heather, you said you haven't. Are you going to be afraid when something out of the ordinary happens, or how?
I think it's natural. Like, I'd like to say no, but I think being scared when something out of the normal happens, I think it's natural to be scared. So probably.
Yeah. What about you, Steven? Would you be afraid?
Yeah, I'm always afraid. I'm scared. I'm scared of that. I'm scared of the dark. So I'm always going to be afraid because it shouldn't be happening, right?
Right.
I mean, it's going to be scary. It'll be scary at first, and then I'll get excited if I'm like, what was that? And then, yeah, it depends. I mean, if I'm laying there naked and then all of a sudden I'm feeling like burning boils like on my skin, I'll probably get pretty scared.
That is kind of freaky, actually, when the way you think about it. So, where are you going to be filming Conjuring? Conjuring, is that right?
Conjuring, yes.
I'll get it right by Friday, I promise. Conjuring Yorktown. Where is this going to be filming, and how? And I guess another part of that question is, how did you come up with this title?
Well, it's going to be in Yorktown, Texas. So okay. Yorktown Memorial Hospital, Yorktown, Texas. Small little town. Maybe I think the population is under 1,000 people. Very small, very isolated town.
Okay.
And the title just came from when I did Conjuring Mackey's a couple years back. And then we just wanted to do the paranormal film. So I was like, well, let's just make it Conjuring Yorktown. And then it'll be Conjuring Hinsdale, Conjuring St. Albans, just Conjuring series of.
We're trying to decide where to go next.
Yeah. Nice. And then just leave it at that. Because I mean, the Conjuring movies is a big name. So the word Conjuring alone is big. So just to add the name of the building, it kind of just has that catch in that phrase. And that's what we're kind of doing, is conjuring them with the blood, with the Ouija board, with these techniques.
Yeah. So it definitely, because I do love the movies, like, and every time I mention it to people, they look at me like I'm crazy. Well, now I know why, because I can't pronounce it. Which makes sense. I don't know why I can never get that right, and everybody corrects me all the time, and I never can get it right. So that would be really cool, and I would love to have you back every single one you do. And I know you also have an Indiegogo going on for this, so do you want to promote that a little bit?
Our Indiegogo is actually finished.
It is.
Yes. We don't want to have an Indiegogo for the next ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all right. Go ahead.
Did you want to explain why we pretty much did it, just to give everybody the opportunity?
We did it not because we needed the money. We did it so that everyone would have a chance to be involved in it, you know, such as producer credits, or, you know, they want to sign pictures from the film or something like that. So, I mean, we raised like $600, which was fine. But the next ones, we kind of want to prove that, you know, you can be successful and you don't need handouts, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Because that's what it is.
Sense.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you keep seeing all these people with 15 different ones. Eventually, like, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work.
I mean,
like,
there's films that raise 17 grand and can't finish their film. Yeah. And we're doing this on less than 5,000. Yeah. And then we'll have, like way less. And then we'll have more following, which we're not going to need other people's help with because we can do it.
Yeah, like even with my movie 72, we raised about 4,400, and it wasn't even enough to do anything. Now we finished the movie and all that, and do we plan on having another Indiegogo? Maybe, but if we do, is what you're basically saying, just to give people the opportunity to be in the movie or to have their name in the credits. Like,
that's what we were going for, so they could be a part of it if they were fans of the paranormal or something.
Right, and that's the thing. Like if you're already raised funds and you're kind of not and you kind of like already finished the primary of the filming and you're in post-production, like how are you, like, why are you raising another Indiegogo? Like, I mean, you should have the funds to do Indiegogo.
You should have it with the first one. You don't need two of them to finish the film.
Yeah, because we see a lot of people that raise thousands of dollars, and then they're like, these are our finishing funds, and we're like, where did the 17 grand go?
And that just kind of shows the lack of responsibility and maturity on how to handle a film, preparation to budget a film. They clearly didn't budget it, so you do it. Just, you gave me 17 grand to make a film, we'd have 10 films.
Yeah, we could make.
And if you have like already if you already have a film, whether it's a fan film or any other film in the can, and you did the editing yourself, you should have the software and all that stuff to finish the film. You shouldn't need the added funds to make it. Like, you should already have the stuff there, unless you're outsourcing it to professional editors, which then it's like, okay, but you should have all the funds raised before you actually start filming.
And if you're doing that,
we wanted to do it.
Yeah, and if you're doing it to the professional teams, then it's not really an indie film at that point.
Right.
You're being professionals that work in Hollywood, when you can get Final Cut Pro 10x or whatever, which is exactly what people use in Hollywood, and do it yourself. $400, figure it out.
We just kind of want to prove with this that it can
be done.
Shoot on iPhones, edit yourself.
Oh, it can be done. We done our film on an iPhone.
If it's done right.
Yeah, we're gonna.
iPhones are amazing filming tools.
We have a feature film planned, and we want to film it all on our iPhones.
Nice. Yeah, and it can be done. I've done it just this last summer, and we're in post-production. It's able to be done. You don't need a Blackmagic camera.
Yes, exactly.
You don't need a Blackmagic camera to make a film. So for the other films, if I don't know if this will get too personal, but how are you planning on funding those films without Indiegogo? Where would the funds come from?
I mean,
we're going to fund what we can ourselves for the feature film. I am going to reach out to some investors I know and see if maybe they're interested in throwing their money in. If not, then it will all be self-funded between him and I.
Awesome. So I do have one more question for you. And Steven knows my interviews aren't really that long, anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes. But I'll be having you guys back on Friday, and we will be discussing everything that happened during filming. And I really can't wait for that interview, because I can't wait to, dive in head first to see if Steven grew boils on his naked chest.
Yeah, we'll be doing the interview in the ER.
We will still do the interview. I will record it in the ER.
Nice. So So is there a specific release date or time frame that you are going to have this film, out for anybody to view, and where would they be able to see this?
We would like a release before Halloween. I know that every horror person says that. They're like, oh, it's the perfect time, but it is really the perfect time. We do already have interest in a theatrical release, a limited theatrical release, so you will be able to see it in some theaters. We're going to put it in film festivals purely for the audience base. And there's some distributors right now who are interested. So we're hoping it ends up on DVD, streaming, and theaters.
Awesome. That sounds great. And
I really within 2 weeks by the time we get back, we're just going to self-edit it ourselves. It's not, like you said, it's not difficult if you have the right tools to do it.
Yeah, if you have the right tools to do it and you actually make the time to edit it, you can get it done, fairly quickly, a couple months, not even. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how focused you are to do it. If you have all the material you need, I mean, you really don't need a second Indiegogo to do it if you have the tools already from previous projects or whatever. And even if you don't, a couple $100, is not that much to invest if you have a job. Really isn't.
Yeah, it's better than paying 17 grand or 20 grand for a professional to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can, like you said, you can get, even Adobe, Premiere Pro, you can get that. And you can, I mean, yeah, it's not as easy to learn, but there's YouTube. I mean, it's not that easy to use, but there's YouTube tutorials out there that just tell you how to do it, if you need to. There's a lot of tools at your hand. We're in,
imagine trying to do it 20 years ago, though, where none of this existed.
That's what I was saying. We're in the 21st century.
Yeah, and they were able to do it. And now you're too lazy to want to learn how to do it for free.
Yeah. So it really isn't that complicated. I can't wait to see what you do with Conjuring Yorktown. I got it. I got
Yorktown. Now you got the second part wrong. Yorktown.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have
Conjuring Yorktown.
by the next one. There you go.
There we go. I will get it right by Friday, I promise.
That's what I was saying. Hopefully,
I know, but I thank you guys for joining me this evening. I'm really excited to see this movie come out. I can't wait until Friday for the second interview where we will be discussing, what happened. See if Steven, like I said, got his boils. See what ghosts and energy and spirits and everything that we had out there. I can't wait to see this. It's going to be exciting. So stay tuned, everybody that's listening and watching this for Friday, because I'll be having the second interview posted. And thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Have a great rest of your night.
You too.
All right, bye.